recording? Yes, I'm going to try this again. But you don't know that. So this, no, no, and here we go. So the first 4 questions, more like a review just so that you get warmed up. If you have, like I was saying before, if you have colors, that makes it nice. Well, I have 2 Y's, and make sure you circle the term including the sign that precedes it or that comes before it. So these 2 are the same. So I'm going to put all my blues together, which is all my Y's, all my terms that have Y's, and I'm going to move them side by side. And the other one's going to be plus 7m minus 8m. I can now focus on combining these two. Right, so negative 4 plus 9, so it's positive 5 because the positives are going to win. And then in black here, the negatives are going to win, right? And if you want, please change this to an addition problem, so you get negative 8m. So now you can say that the negatives are going to win because they have one more, so it's going to be negative 1m. Or better yet, let's get start used to writing negative m. Right? There's no point in writing the 1 because there's only one m anyway. A squared, negative a squared, negative 2a squared are the same. What else is the same? These two are a's, and this one is a, and the other one I'm not going to circle. So side by side, they should look something like this. And negative a squared minus 12, minus 2a squared, minus 4a, minus 12a, and lastly in red I'm going to use plus 9. So I know now, well, I know already that the 9 is going to be part of my answer because there's nothing to do with the 9. Let's do the other one. So these two, okay, and again, if you like, until you get used to it, there's a 1 over here. So it's negative 1a squared minus 2a squared, and if you want to change this to an addition problem, it's become negative 1a squared plus negative 2a squared. So it's a negative plus a negative, so they're friends, right? So negative 3a squared. Now I'm going to do it from here to here. Again, if you want to change it to an addition problem, negative 4a plus negative 12a. They're both negatives, so it's negative 16a. And there's my final answer. XYs. Let's see, anything that has XY. This one has an XY. That one has an XY. What else? This one has an Y, and this one has a Y only, and the other one has an X. I'm not going to do anything with it. 7xy minus 10xy, those two go together. Oops, I think I reversed the color. It's okay. Minus 8y minus 12y, that goes together. And lastly, that 9x is going to be all along, minus 9x. So I already know that that's part of my answer because there are no x's. 7xy minus 10xy is negative 3xy. Okay, change it to addition if you're not comfortable. And then negative 8y, remember it's from here to here. Right, negative 8y minus 12y, it becomes negative 20y. And that's my final answer. K cubed. So this one, it has minus 4k cubed. This one is minus k cubed. What other things do we have? K and a k. And everything else is a k. So, okay. So that's not that hard. So minus 4k cubed minus k cubed. And then I'm going to have minus 3k, minus k, and minus 2k. So 2 blues, 3 purples. This one is the easy one. So, oops, let me change colors, make it nice. So this one's going to be negative 4k cubed plus negative k cubed, right? So they're both negatives. There's 4 here, and remember there's 1 over here, so it's negative 5k to the third power. In purple, you have, so we're going to combine all these guys here. I'm going to put over a 1 over here, okay? So negative 3k and negative 1k is negative 4k, right? And negative 4k and negative 2k is negative 6k. So the total of negative 6k. And you have a calculator, so it's going to make life a little bit easier for you. Now, this is what we're doing today, distributive properties. So, and again, you did this last year, so it shouldn't, none of this should be new to you. So we're going to multiply those two. It's a positive times a positive, so I get 12k, right? 3 times 4 is 12, and the k joins in. Now it's a positive times a negative, right? Think of it as a negative, and it's going to be negative 27. That's it. Over here, I want you to think of a 1 in here, okay? So it's a negative times a positive, which gives me negative 8y. Negative 1 times negative 7 gives me positive 7. There is no number outside the parentheses, so I want you to think of it as if there's a 1 there. But if there's only 1 there, 1 times 12v, it's just going to be 12v, and 1 times negative 5 is just going to be negative 5. So notice that this came out of the parentheses exactly how it was inside the parentheses. Nothing changed. Now, while here on the previous one, it was a negative 1 on the outside. So and notice how they came out of parentheses. The 8y became a negative 8y, and the minus 7 became plus 7. So a little pattern here happening for you. Next one, negative 3 times negative 5 is positive 15, and a7, we can't throw that out. And then negative 3 times negative 9 is positive 27. Here, again, it's a negative times a positive, so it's negative 40p. A negative times a negative is positive, so it's positive 28. Negative times a positive is a negative, and 4 times 4 is 16, but don't forget the a squared. Positive times a negative is a negative, so it's negative 15, and m. Positive times a negative, again, is a negative, and 5 times 1 is 5. Negative times a negative is going to be a positive, and 6 times n is just 6m. Negative times a positive is a negative, 6 times 2 is 12h. And negative times a positive, again, it's going to be a negative, and 6 times 1 is 6. Over here, it's a positive times a positive, so it's 9 times 5, 45h. Positive times a negative, which is going to be a negative, and negative 9w cubed. And positive times negative is negative, and that gives you 81, right? Really, really simple. Okay, so you just got to be careful with the signs. Oops, there's more. Negative times a negative is a positive, so 7 times 3 is 21, m squared. Negative times a positive is a negative, and 7 times 4 is 28. And lastly, a negative times a negative is a positive, and 7 times 5 is 35w. 2 times m, positive times a positive is 2m. Positive times a negative is going to be negative, and 2 times a squared is 2a squared. Positive times a negative is going to be negative, and 2 times 4 is going to be 8b cubed. Lastly, a positive times a negative, again, it's going to be a negative, and 2 times 5 is 10. Don't forget the c. So the last few problems, I want you to do the distributive property, as well as combine like terms. But we first have to do the distributive property, so that allows us to get rid of the parentheses, okay? So let's start. Choose blue. Negative times a positive is negative, and 5 times 2 is 10m. Negative times a positive is a negative again, and negative 5 times 1 is negative 5. And then we're going to copy them minus 8 there, right? Can I combine like terms? Yes, I can. There is 2 like terms here, and luckily for us, they're next to each other, so I don't even have to move anything. So these 2 are next to each other. So negative 10m is going to just tag along, and negative 5 minus 8 is the same thing as negative 5 plus negative 8, if that makes it easier for you. And what's negative 5 plus negative 8 is negative 13. So this is my answer. So anytime you have parentheses, an expression where you have in parentheses, you need to remove it in order for you to combine. So right now, I can't combine this 3k, negative 3k with 15k, right? They're like terms, yes, but the negative 3k, it's inside the parentheses. It's being multiplied by 7, and until I do that, I cannot combine it with the 15k. Okay, so let's do that now. 7 times negative 3 is negative 21k. Positive times a negative is again negative, and 7 times 5 is 35. And then plus 15k. You notice that I have like terms, so I'm going to put a circle over this guy and a circle over this guy. And I can move them around, so negative 21k, and I'm going to move the plus 15k right next to it. Meanwhile, I'm going to take this guy and move it all the way to the back. So these two carries are like terms, and negative 35 is just going to, again, tag along. Negative 25 and plus 15, there's more negatives. How many more? 6 more, but on the negative side. So my answer is negative 6k minus 35. Don't forget the k. Okay. So here, the negative 8 is not to be combined with the 4. No. I've seen quite a few of those being done in that manner. So let's not do that. So the negative 8 right now is just going to hang out there for a second until we do this truly properly. Okay, so let's do positive 4 and positive 5 is positive 20. B squared. Positive 4 and negative 11 is negative 44. Combine like terms, so let me just rearrange the order. So this is by itself, and these two are together. So the 20b squared in the front, and then minus 8, minus 44. So I'm going to combine these two guys here. So it's going to be 20b squared, and negative 8 minus 44 is negative 52. That's my final. Again, likewise, this problem is almost similar, very similar to the previous one. The 5m is not doing anything. So leave it alone. And it's this 3 that's being distributed to each of the terms inside the parentheses. But it's a negative 3. Negative 3 and negative 2 is positive 6m. And then negative 3 and negative 10 is positive 30. Can I combine like terms? Yes, I can. These two are like. 5m and 6m gives me 11m. And then plus 30. Okay. Bottom here, let me clear the page. So 18 will just be outside, and it's a negative 6 being distributed. So negative 6 and positive 2 is negative 12. Negative 6 and negative 3 is positive 18w. Combine like terms, yes, we can combine these two guys because they're both constants. So it's 18 minus 12 is just 6, right? Plus, don't forget this part here, 18w. Over here, negative 9c is just going to stick around here for a second. Let's combine the rest. So it's positive 2, that's being distributed to the terms inside the parentheses. 2 times 5 is plus 10. 2 times c is 2c, remember? Both are positive. And the last one is 2 times negative 1, which is negative 2. Anything I can combine? Yes, I do. This guy and this guy are going to be combined. So let me write them side by side. 10m is going to go third place, plus 10m, and then minus 2 stays out. So combine these two guys. There's more negatives, right? So they're not friends. It's negative 7c plus 10m minus 2. Okay. Oh, not too many more problems. Okay, here. Let's put a 1 here. And let's make this bigger because I can't see. I do have glasses somewhere. Okay, so can't find it. Negative and a negative is a positive, so negative 1 times w is just w. A negative times a negative is a positive, and 1 times 8 is just 8. Plus 3w. Combine like terms, let me move them around. So it's this guy and this guy are going to be next to each other. So it's w plus 3w. And that plus 8 is going to come all the way to the back. Combine like terms, these two are going to be combined. And w plus 3w is 4w. Remember, there's a 1 here. So 1w plus 3w is 4w. Let's say 15. This one looks a little tricky, right? So again, outside way next to the parentheses here, there is no number, so I'm going to put a 1. That 15 does absolutely nothing for now. Negative 1 times 4 is negative 4m. Negative 1 times negative 12 is positive, and positive 12. Combine like terms? Yes, this guy will combine with this guy. So let me put them side by side. 15 plus 12. Let me put that minus 4m in the back. 15 plus 12 is 27. Minus 4m. You can't combine these two. Oops. Can't combine those two because they're not like terms, right? X. Clear page. I want to pause this for a second. No, I'm not. I'm on X. Yes, I am. Let's put the volume up. Alright, so positive times a positive is 8k. Positive times a negative, 2 times 5 is negative 10. Now we're going to do this guy. Positive times a positive is positive 63k. And then positive times a positive here is going to be plus 84. So we're going to combine this guy with this guy. And then these two is these two. Move them around, please. 8k, 8k, oops. 8k plus 63k. Then minus 10 plus 84. So my like terms next to each other is so much easier to see. All right, so this becomes, they're both friends, 71k. And then negative 10 plus 84, the 84 is going to win, so it's going to be plus 74. And these two I cannot combine. Negative 8 and w is negative 8w. Negative 8 and negative 3 is positive 24. Negative 7 and 4 is negative 28w. And negative 8 with positive 8 is plus 56. For my like terms, let me move things around. And minus 28w, and these two are like terms. So, move my like terms next to each other. Plus 24, plus 56. Now combine these two. Negative 8 and negative 28. So again, let me change this to an addition. So now I can clearly see that they're both friends, and negative 8 and negative 28 is negative 36w. About these two, they're both positives, and it's just 24 plus 56, which is 80. These two I cannot combine. Z is a little bit longer, but it's not a big problem. So negative 12 again does nothing. The negative 5 is the one that's being distributed. Negative times a negative is a positive. 5 times 3 is 15m. Negative times a negative is a positive again, and 5 times 6 is 30. And finally, we have this other parentheses, and again, think of a 1 over here. So it's negative times a positive, which is going to be negative. 1 times m is just m, or 1m. I'll put the 1m there. Let me just write it a little better. 1m. Then negative times a negative is a positive, and 1 times 7 is just 7. So this is what I have. Can I combine anything? Is there anything to combine? Let me choose the color. Black, I guess. Plus 15m will be combined with negative 1m. And the other three are constants, so they're going to be combined with each other. So 15m is going to come all the way to the front, minus 1m is going to be right next to it. And then we're going to have negative 12, plus 30, plus 7. So those three are going to be combined. So let's combine these two first. Negative 15 minus 1 is just 14m. And now we're going to do negative 12 plus 30 plus 7. And negative 12 and 30, well, the 30 is going to win because I have 18 more. So these two is 18. And then 18 plus 7 is 25. So that's what I'm looking at. And finally, the last one. The last one is just a little bit longer. But again, you do it carefully and neatly. This should be no problem. So negative 12 just hangs out here. I'm just going to put it on the side. Let's do the other ones. Negative 9 here. So negative 9 and 3 is negative 27W. Negative 9 and negative 12 is going to be positive 108. And then I'm going to change colors. And then negative 4 and negative 8 is positive 32. Negative 4 and negative 2 is going to be positive 8W. And that negative 16 over there does absolutely nothing. Okay, it's nothing to do with anything. So, circle. Let's circle the W's. There's a W here. I'll put it in the front. Next to it, I'm going to put this guy here, 8W. And everything else looks that they're all the same, right? This is a number, a constant, a constant, a constant. Those four terms can be put next to each other. Negative 12 plus 108 plus 32 minus 16. So they're all the same. So let's take care of the two like terms in the front. These two guys right here. Negative 27 plus 8. There's more negatives, so they're not friends. So my answer is looks like negative 19W. And then I'm going to do negative 12 plus 108 plus 32 minus 16. Ugh, negative 12 and I can do this. I can do this. Negative 12 and 108 is, I have no idea. A little bit too late. Negative 12 plus 108. It's going to be 96 positive. 96 positive plus 32 is going to be, no. Hang on a second. Negative 12 plus 108 is going to be 96. And 96 plus 32, 8, 128 plus 32 should be 128. I was right. 128 and then minus 16 it's going to be 112. Okay, so all this is going to be positive 112. Okay, so not that difficult. Actually, it's pretty simple, right? Okay, that's it.